Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Tree Lee. We've got a special show tonight. We have, on my far left, is Max Kersey, and we have Taylor Manning in the middle. Welcome to the show. And ladies and gentlemen, these two young fellows from Troy, Alabama, walked the Appalachian Trail. Tell us a little bit, Terry, about your family and your siblings. And
well, I got one sister, one brother.
Who are they?
Ashley Brooke Kersey. She's currently going to Troy University, and my brother Terry, he's graduated and he's following his career and married now.
Who's he married to? That Luverne Tiger?
Yeah, Paige Allen.
Okay.
Paige Kersey. You know.
Okay. And your mother and daddy?
Terry Kersey and Shannon. And,
there we go.
Yeah.
All right, Taylor, what about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, and siblings.
Well, my name's Taylor Manning, and I've got a sister and brother. My brother is Seth Manning. He's in Savannah, Georgia right now, working on his career. And then my sister is Clarianne Manning, and she's at Auburn University studying right now. And my mom is Carrie Manning.
All right. They're showing pictures now on the screen, and I believe that's Max. But what encouraged y'all? Why did y'all decide to walk the Appalachian Trail?
Well, I grew up going to the Smoky Mountain National Park with my parents, and you know, we'd always go up. If you've been there, you know, of Newfound Gap, the trail crosses the highway right there at the Tennessee-North Carolina state line. And I remember my dad, he'd always just say, you know, we'd see a hiker coming through, like, they're walking to Maine. And didn't really think much about it till I got older, and I was like, you know, I got more and more into hiking. I was like, man, that's the ultimate trail. That's the ultimate test, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so I just kind of pursued it when I got out of college.
Nate, can we go to the large screen behind us? Will that work? Where it shows all the way behind us? Yeah. And if we can maybe slow him down a second. That's y'all taking a nap on a bridge.
Oh, we slept there.
I slept there.
Yeah, we slept there that night. Where was that? Was that Laurel Falls?
Yeah.
Lauren Falls?
That's Max.
It's in Georgia.
All right.
Or not Georgia.
That's Blood Mountain in Georgia. That's the first mountain we climbed up.
Okay. Blood Mountain, Georgia.
Yeah. And that just shows kind of how the trail crosses the road. It's just a deer trail, like almost a horse path that crosses the road.
And you just get out of the road and back into the woods.
If you're bypassing it, you know, you don't know what you're passing
Where is
by.
this at?
That's in Georgia, mile 100.
Yeah.
Mile 100 in Georgia. Y'all started off in?
Amicalola Falls State Park up in North Georgia. It's near Dawsonville.
Okay. Dawsonville from Dawsonville.
Yeah.
I've been there, Jody. I've been there. That's beautiful.
Lake Fontana. That's in North Carolina or Tennessee?
That's North Carolina, right before the Tennessee border. That's the Fontana Hilton.
That's a place to take a bath?
That's a place to sleep.
That's a shelter right there.
Okay,
It's got about, I don't know, space for 12 in there.
Yeah.
Was it full?
No, there was probably 6 people in there.
6 people when we slept there.
Early on, there was a lot more hikers out there attempting to do the trail, and they slowly quit as we went. You lost a couple hikers in every town.
Yeah.
So y'all started the 1st of April and ended on?
September 19th.
September 19th.
5 months, 19 days.
All right. All right, keep them rolling. There we go. That's the Great Smoky Mountain.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, we got snow in the Smokies.
We got a 21.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a 21 degree night.
Ice storm. It did that for 3 days probably.
What day was that? In April?
It was probably April 20th.
Yeah.
It was in April 20th.
Yeah, right around that time. A little
Now,
bit
did
after
y'all
that.
have like something you can get under?
We had our tents. He had a hammock.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was a shelter that we stayed in, Great Smokies, that
Yeah.
had a fireplace. It was stone.
Yeah, through the national park every 10 miles or so, there was probably a shelter that the AT hikers could use.
So y'all walked a total of 2,193
miles.
miles.
Yes, sir.
In how many states?
14.
14 states.
That's Newfound Gap in the Smokies. That's kind of where I laid eyes on the Appalachian Trail when I was little.
Okay. There's your mom and dad, Terry and Shannon.
Yep, that's where
So they came to visit. Go ahead.
that's where the folks came up and picked us up, and we went into Gatlinburg to a family friend's house and spent 3 days there.
3
4
days. We had 3 zeros, as we call it, on the trail.
Yeah, 0 mile days.
0 mile days.
Yeah.
Got some good rest in, though, and good to see family.
Yeah.
Did you get to see your mom?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Okay. Did y'all shave at all?
I didn't shave the whole time.
I trimmed my neck in Gatlinburg, and after that, I let it go.
Okay.
I told Mama to bring my clippers up there. And yeah, it's in some places it went down the side of a highway, and
That's it.
and then most of it kept you in the woods.
Yeah, most of it was in the woods. More than I thought.
That's a beautiful sunset there.
That's Max Patch, Virginia.
Max Patch.
Max Patch.
And that's a wonderful place. You can't go there for like 2 years. They've got a revegetation area now, but man, it's beautiful at night. You can see all the stars. They're up there, elevation-wise.
Is that yours?
That's my hammock, yeah.
And that's beside that river in Hot Springs, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. That's where that all happened.
Yeah.
And y'all were able to go across that in canoes? How'd y'all get across it?
So we're about a mile from a road right there. We walked up the river, so we just crossed the bridge.
Bridge, yeah.
We didn't have to do any
What kind of food you got there?
junk food. Moon
Junk-
pies, oatmeal cream pies, gummy bears, pasta, peanuts, and Vienna sausages.
That's a moon pie?
Yeah, down
Down at the
left
bottom.
corner.
And what kind of meat is that packaged?
Probably tuna or Viennas,
Okay.
chicken, jerky. Just anything that wouldn't go bad. And that's a white blaze there. So the entire trail, sometimes it was every 100 yards. Sometimes you might go a quarter of a mile before you see another one. But there was white blazes to kind of keep you from getting too lost.
Yeah.
It's hard to get lost on the AT.
If you don't see a white blaze for a good, 20 minutes, you're probably not.
Stop and figure out where you're at.
You're not in the right spot.
Now, what is that still North Carolina?
It's hard to say.
That one's hard
That's
to say.
another beautiful
Should.
sunset.
It looks like North Carolina.
It does.
Imagine y'all saw plenty of deer.
Tons of deer.
Tons of deer. And in Pennsylvania and Virginia, it seemed like they weren't scared of you at all.
Roan Mountain. We climbed that mountain on my birthday. That was our biggest mile day. We did 26.9 miles.
Wow. So when was your birthday?
May 9th.
May 9th. When's yours, Taylor?
February 9th.
So you're 25, Max, and Taylor's-
26.
and you're 26. I'm 62. That's another good picture there.
And that was Taylor and our friend we met, Merchant from New York. He hiked with us on my birthday.
Now, what were your nicknames on the trail?
Boomhauer.
Boomhauer.
Yeah.
What about Max?
And I was Thunder Buddy.
Thunder Buddy.
In reference to the movie Ted, how they didn't like thunder and lightning, and they had a little skit they would do at night.
Okay. And most of the people you met had nicknames.
Everybody had
Everybody
nicknames.
had nicknames.
It took some people longer than others to acquire one, but yeah,
Woo. Now, Max, is that you?
that's me.
Did you have a rope tied around him, Taylor?
No.
Good gracious. Where is that?
McAfee Knob,
McAfee Knob,
Virginia.
yeah.
Wow. I imagine Mother said, Max, what are you doing?
Well, see, I went up and got a picture before that one, and I wasn't hanging off the side, and I saw this other guy that was out day hiking, and he sat on the edge like that, and I was like, oh, if he did it, I got to do it.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Okay.
So,
Man, that is an awesome picture. Now, who is that?
that's me.
I think that's Max.
And that's
Now-
on
That's that day we
Watauga
aqua
Lake,
blazed.
Watauga Lake.
Watauga
And
Lake.
y'all would y'all go from one side to the other on that, or y'all just got in a canoe?
We did. It was either 21 miles to go around the lake on the trail, or you could rent kayaks, and there was a shuttle service that would do it. And you could take a kayak 10 miles across the lake.
How much? So y'all did that. How much did it cost?
50.
$50 with tax and everything.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Now, did y'all carry a debit card? How'd y'all pay for everything?
I carried a debit card.
Debit, credit card, and like $100 cash at all times, just in case.
Now, roughly, how much money did you actually spend? The total cost?
You hurt my feelings now.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to if you don't want to share.
No,
So y'all were.
about 6,200.
Yeah, I think about 7.
Now, that's a wild horse.
They're supposedly wild, but not so much anymore. because they're a known attraction. I mean, people go out there to
Yeah,
feed
they
them and
feed
pet
them
them.
all the time.
Kind of like the deer in national parks, they're used to people.
That's the Grayson Highlands.
One of the prettiest spots on the trail.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like what I would think Scotland would look like from what I've seen.
1/2 Georgia.
That's a quarter of the way.
Quarter of the way.
Okay.
570 something miles. Something like that.
Walking by the highway there.
Now, why is there a fence up so people wouldn't fall?
Just that's probably a wild game fence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep deer from crossing the interstate there.
As best they could.
Yeah. And if you notice there, the trail had been bush hogged along the trail. So the trail went through private land as well as public national forest land and national parks. And the private landowners would take care of the trail. If there was a creek, they'd build little bridges going over it.
Yeah.
They would, cut trees
It
down.
runs through a lot of private land.
Yeah. Ticks.
Did y'all have to, I guess, check for ticks every?
Oh,
Every
yeah.
day.
I got to check for chicks a lot.
And you'd always find them when you're least expecting to.
Mm-hmm.
When you, now if they were kind of embedded, what did y'all put on to get them out? Did you have tweezers or some kind of oil
Yeah.
releases them?
Just pliers.
Pliers.
Leatherman tool.
Yeah.
Eastern Continental Divide.
Okay. That is ooh, what kind of tree is that?
I'm not sure what it was, but
That's a big old.
yeah, we went through some old growth forest along the way.
What state had the most old trees, you think?
Oh,
Were there big trees in Pennsylvania?
yeah.
Virginia had some old trees.
How far were y'all from the coastline that y'all were?
I would say New York was the closest we were to the coast.
Yeah, New York.
That is a beautiful sight there.
Yeah, I think
Do we
we're
know where
getting-
that is?
I think that's getting into Virginia there.
Mm-hmm. That is Virginia. Should be.
A third of the way to Katahdin.
Katahdin.
Yeah, that's mile 700 something.
Katahdin,
That would
yeah.
be Virginia.
Katahdin. Akuma Katahdin. Wow.
I think they called that the guillotine.
Yep.
Is that mud?
That's just rock and water.
Mm-hmm.
We'd walk in the rain, the trail would just be flooded.
Flooded.
You deal with swampy feet.
Then
What
you would
socks?
have to stop and let everything. Or did you keep an extra pair or something dry in your backpack?
I did to sleep in.
And to sleep in. But if it's raining all day, you can't. You're in it.
You just might as well stay in it.
You know. You might as well have something dry.
That was halfway. And that was me at a post office. My mom and sister, they packed up, like 5 days worth of food, and he had boxes sent to him as well. They would send us a resupply box like that, so we wouldn't have to worry about going and finding a Dollar General or something.
Kind of get
Resupply.
more rest in while we were in the town.
Yeah. I was breaking down camp.
Is this where you pick up a jug of water? Or?
It's a water cache, so you fill your water bottle up with some of it. Along the way, trail angels will drop off water bottles and water.
We were in an area that was known to not have water.
Mm-hmm.
There was no creeks in that section of trail, and so there were people that would come out and put jugs of water out for us.
Would y'all have to boil that at night to make sure it was potable?
Not the water.
We
that
assumed it was.
We assumed it was
Okay.
good water.
Did y'all ever sip from a fresh stream?
Mm-hmm.
Many times.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're up on the very tip top of the mountain.
So it's pretty pure.
Pretty pure.
Mm-hmm.
We took our chances some days. That was in the Shenandoah National Park.
Yeah.
What was the hottest day? Well, y'all were in some heat.
Yeah.
Boiling Springs, Pennsylvania felt like the hottest day to me.
Who is this Cadillac?
That's Bushwhack.
Bushwhack.
Yep.
He just finished about a week ago, actually. He sent me a summit picture.
Really?
Yep.
Where's his hometown? Hey, Bushwhack. What's up?
Philadelphia?
Yeah, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Man, I hope he put on sunscreen. He looks kind of fair skinned.
Oh, he was a cool guy.
He was a wildcat.
Now, where was his hometown again?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
And he was one of them people that was really energetic, and they would just help us push big mile days, and we just enjoyed their company.
Mm-hmm.
They'd motivate us to want to go further and do crazy stuff.
Now, y'all mentioned that you ran into a lot of people with different problems. Some did not have problems. Some did.
Hmm.
So y'all have taken.
That's the hottest day of the year, right?
Yeah, it's the hottest
for
day.
us.
That looks like a nice neighborhood right there.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
It was downtown Boiling Springs, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about some of the difficulties people were facing? You said you ran into some military people.
Yeah, there were some people along that were going through their own journey to try to find themselves.
Who's these fellas?
So that guy there, we met him in New Jersey?
New Jersey, yeah.
We had heard rumor from some people that there was another Alabama guy out there, and hadn't met him for a few days. And I come over this mountain, and he was sitting up there. I said, "I guess you're from Alabama, aren't you?" He's like, "Yeah, that's me." And we hiked with him for 3 weeks, probably.
What's his nickname?
Andy?
Andy. Yeah.
What part of Bama?
Montgomery.
Montgomery. So y'all are eating real fish?
Yeah, we got one day we were asking a guy about his technique of fly fishing, what he was using bait wise. He told us mealworms, and then he ended up giving us 4 rainbow trout.
Yeah.
Wow, I
And-
bet it tasted
We started a fire right then and there and cooked them up.
Mm-hmm.
It tickled him to death to give us those fish too.
Yeah.
Now, what bridge is that?
Oh man, I
Or
can't
what
read
state?
it.
Are we in Pennsylvania still?
No, we're past. I think we're in Maryland, or now we're in moving on. West Virginia, Maryland,
Well,
New
York,
Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah. Oh, probably Jersey.
I like your flag up there.
That was the 4th of July.
That's where we went to visit Yuengling, and we got a day off. And one of our trail friends,
Them, the guy on the
Them.
right.
Mike,
So they walked in kilts?
He did, yeah.
he did
Wow.
Gave you a lot more freedom down there, he said.
Okay.
Stride. Stride was his name.
That's under a bridge here in
Mhm.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Fort Clinton.
Whoa. Where is that?
That is Lehigh Gap, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
That's
Climbing up Lehigh.
yeah. Yeah, it's a footpath. It's a beaten path the whole way, but they're still climbing.
Definitely still climbing.
You can mess up.
Yeah, that's going in New
And
Jersey.
that's our New York friends, Honeyman and Wildflower there.
Mhm.
All right, pause it there. Let's get an identification of who we got here.
All right.
That Taylor on the far left,
Yeah.
then Max,
And that's Bushwhacker. again.
Bushwhacker. Who's the lady in the middle?
Flo.
Flo.
Where's she from?
Pennsylvania, I believe.
Yeah, and then you got Semi. Semi's from,
Jersey or New York.
yeah. Then you've got
The Alabama boy.
Solar and Squeeze.
Solar
there.
and Squeeze,
North Carolina.
North Carolina. And then you've got
Giggles.
Giggles,
She's
yeah.
from Colorado. And
Did-
she had done the trail the previous year, but she was just out there doing like 300 miles just for fun.
Just do it
And we
again.
met her.
Did a lot of the girls or females have companions with them?
Mm-mm.
They were pretty much by themselves.
Everybody started by themselves. Me and him was
A
one
lot
of
of-
the
yeah.
few
Wow.
groups. And we just met those people in the Shenandoah National Park and decided, to tag along and
Yeah.
came from the same places with them at night.
Just hang out.
Just had a little social.
Yeah, that's somebody's private property that built you a bridge.
That was
No,
state
that was a
park.
boardwalk in New Jersey.
Yeah, it went through state parks, national parks, private land.
And that's getting into New York there.
That overlooks Greenwood Lake, New York.
Yeah.
And that's some of the
That's
lovely
some of the
water.
water that was tanning.
Whoa. Or is this that little?
In Greenwood Lake, we got a night off with one of our friends that started. He didn't finish, but he was from New York, and his grandmother had a place at Greenwood Lake. He ended up inviting us to come spend the night there, get some rest.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, but that was nice.
It was, even on the floor, it was super nice.
And that's where?
New York City.
On Times Square.
How long were y'all in New York City?
Well, one day too long.
Yeah, one day too long. We were planning to go back that night, but ended up having to get a hotel room.
Yeah, we missed our bus out of there.
Yeah.
We just wanted to go in for the day, see what we could, and get out, but that didn't work.
Okay.
New York's a trap.
New York's a trap. Yeah.
Wow. Y'all lost, how many pounds did you lose, Taylor?
Probably 10.
Max?
Around halfway, I weighed myself, and I had lost 18 pounds. And then by the end in Maine, I kind of changed my diet a little bit and ate a little more, and I gained it back.
Okay. But did y'all have any major health setbacks? Really?
Just your feet hurt
Yeah, my
the
feet.
entire time. They never stop hurting. Even after you build calluses, your knees go numb after what, 600 miles?
Yeah, 500, 600 miles your knees.
Yeah,
You're good.
but your feet are always hurting. Feels like you got bone spurs in the bottom of them.
So y'all feeling pretty good now, right?
No, I'm feeling good
Oh yeah,
now.
feel great.
I had some chicken of the woods mushrooms we
Yeah.
would forage for sometimes. Really,
Are they
really tasty.
edible?
Yes,
Really?
sir.
We had
Chicken of the woods.
Chicken of the woods.
we met people out there that
Did y'all know that ahead of time? What that was?
we kind of knew of that one.
I knew of that one before,
Yeah.
and just never found it here in Alabama.
But see, we met people out there that had a better knowledge of stuff like that, just because of the stereotype of people that's out there,
Yeah.
and they taught us some stuff, stuff I hadn't ever learned before.
Which ones were edible, which ones were bad.
And we were always weary.
Yeah.
We watched them eat them first, but
Wow, that is New York, Pennsylvania.
That is getting into
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
yeah,
Okay.
right outside of Kent, Connecticut, or Salisbury, one.
That's in Massachusetts for the getting in.
Mount Greylock, tallest point in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Mount Greylock.
Not great lot.
Vermont, the muddiest state on the Appalachian Trail.
Ooh, the muddiest. There was few days that your feet were dry in Vermont.
We didn't have
Were
a
you
whole
at
lot.
the tower?
So, fire tower.
Okay.
Yeah. There was I don't know, there was a ton of fire towers along the trail.
Where's this? At a store?
Manchester Center,
Yeah, Manchester Center.
Vermont.
Mhm.
Yeah, I went and I told him we had a rough day and some bad weather, I think. And I told him, I said, if we make it to town, I'm going to go buy me an entire cake and a gallon of milk, and I'm going to go sit and I'm going to eat it. So that's what we
What
were
kind
doing.
of cake did you buy?
It was blueberry cream cake.
Blueberry cream.
You know,
Oh, that looks good. French fries and what kind of, is that a
Burger.
chicken? A burger.
yeah.
Sprite.
Yeah, whenever we went through towns, we would try to, get a lot of protein and carbs in us, eat real food.
Mhm.
What about mosquitoes?
Massachusetts, it
That was
was
the worst state for mosquitoes.
Barrington or no,
Great Barrington.
Great Barrington.
Yeah.
That section, those mosquitoes would follow you for miles. It seems like.
The entire day, they were like Africanized mosquitoes, it seemed like. That was at the Belleville Farms Creamery
Yeah.
in New York.
Mhm.
I tell you, y'all want to take a quick break? How many more do you think are we halfway through? Or?
We're in New Hampshire now.
Yeah.
Right there.
All right, let's hey Nate, let's take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're with Max Kersey and Taylor Manning. These two young men from Troy, Alabama, walked the Appalachian Trail, 2,193 miles, 14 states. Y'all left the 1st of April
Mhm.
and arrived to your destination on the 19th day of September. And when we come back, they're going to tell you how we're going to finish the trip, and then they're going to tell you how they got back home. But we'll be right back after these messages.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Attention! Attention! PremierTroy.com. We want your trade. We'll buy your car. Whether you purchase a vehicle from us or not, pre-owned car values are at an all-time high. Trade your car for cash or a newer vehicle. It's your choice. Premier wants your car. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Good News and Interviews. Tonight we have Max Kersey and Taylor Manning. They walked the Appalachian Trail, 2,193 miles. And Max loves hot sauce, and I'm going to give him a bottle of this Chimney Rock hot sauce. It's sweet, spicy, and smoky. It's made with smoked habaneros. And take the leap. You can order these online at Chimney. Where's the website? It's on here somewhere. www.chimneysauce.com. They're fantastic, so pass that to Maxwell. And this is, you can find this here at Southern Grill and Patio. And for my birthday, I've received a nice grill from my wife and daughter. But they have 4 different kinds of sauces. They have Sweet Island for shrimp, chicken, and pork, Old Southern Barbecue, Simply Creole, and this is by Bordeaux, out of the Wetumpka, Montgomery area. It has no high fructose corn syrup, but this is since 1945-ish. But you can order these online, but go to North 39th Street, Southern Grill and Patio, where Town and Country is located. See the Hartleys, and you can get this sauce from them. And Taylor, thank you for coming. There's your little parting gift. But let's get back to the pictures, the big set. And we are at...
that's the Vermont-New Hampshire state line right there at the Dartmouth College. Yeah. How do you say it? Dartmouth?
Dartmouth?
Dartmouth, yeah.
You look like you got on some loose shorts. Are those real cotton, 100% cotton?
100% polyester. It's a swimsuit I got at a thrift shop in Virginia to do laundry in.
Okay.
And they ended up being more comfortable than the hiking shorts I was wearing, so
okay,
that's how that happened. And that looks like...
Well, that's a big old log. Now, tell us about your hat you got on. What's that one?
This one's from the Layhouse ski shop. It's one of the oldest in America.
Where was it located?
New Hampshire. That's in Lincoln.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Max?
This is the old Maine state flag. They retired it in 1907 to make the new flag that looks like the Union's flag.
Okay, well, I kind of like that one. And you got that in Maine?
In Maine.
Okay. All right. That's
just a suspension bridge.
Okay.
And that was in a state park, I believe. We didn't have to do any river crossings without a bridge until we got to Maine. Once you got past Bethel, Maine, there were no more bridges for us. It was take your shoes off and send it. So,
is that both of y'all?
Yeah, that's in Vermont, Killington, Mount Killington. That's at the top.
Ain't it crazy how you can look at that and tell that's Killington?
You know, Max, you told me one time that there's so many stories out there in y'all's brain and heart and soul that you hadn't even told your parents. There's so many
Yeah.
that probably you're thinking of something now that you hadn't even told anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wild day.
Yeah, and me and him going into it, we were friends from middle school and high school, and I think we both saw a side of each other we'd never seen before.
Yeah.
You just kind of got to let go and let yourself go a little wild to make it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, you just got to let go. And
Because it just all gets to you after a while, just not getting a shower every day, not having really a good shelter when it's raining, having to walk in the rain.
Hikers welcome.
that was a hostel at right before Mount Moosa, wherever that was at. You got a package there
Mm-hmm.
in that town.
That's Moosalok, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. The first of the White Mountains.
The White Mountains.
White Mountains. New Hampshire, and they're some of the toughest part of the trail.
Toughest and most rewarding, the
Yeah.
views. Now it's just a little brook.
So did y'all have two hiking
Poles?
poles?
Yeah,
For most of the trip.
most of the trip. By the end, I only had a walking stick. I just went on and moved on to a stick.
And I had broken both of mine and ended up finding a new one on top of a mountain somebody had lost. That was one of our camping setups there. Franconia Ridge in right outside of Lincoln?
Mm-hmm.
Or
This what state we're still in?
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
definitely the prettiest, I would say,
Oh, yeah.
if you like climbing up mountains.
That's a nice shot. Now, how many bears did y'all see?
4.
4 bears. 2 in a city.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Where'd you first spot your first bear? Or where'd they see?
Gatlinburg?
Gatlinburg was the first one. And it's when we were visiting with family. The second one was in southern Virginia, right?
2 miles out of Parisburg, Virginia, yeah.
In Parisburg. And he was up a tree and I heard some rackets and he was coming down, clawing down, and he took off.
He hit the ground running. Then another one in Salisbury, Connecticut, in a grocery store parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
New Jersey.
and then a big black bear in New Jersey.
Big one.
And where is this?
New Hampshire. That's coming down. Oh, is that off of Franconia Ridge?
That might be on the other side, or is it?
Yeah, that's the other side of Franconia Ridge, on the north side of Mount Lincoln. That is right before Mount Washington.
Cloud of Lakes.
Yeah, Lake of Clouds.
Lake
That's
of
what it
Clouds,
was, yeah.
And you saw bears, and you saw one cougar, Terry.
One mountain lion in North
I mean,
Virginia.
Max.
That's the top of Mount Washington.
Okay.
And you can actually drive a road to the top of that mountain
Yeah.
if you're not hiking the trail. That's an old railroad that goes over Mount Washington.
Is it still active?
They
It is.
use it to take supplies up to the gift shop and stuff like that on top of the mountain. That was coming down Mount Washington going towards Madison right there. And we slept on that ridgeline that night
Wow.
with fingers crossed that the storm wasn't going to hit us.
Yeah, and it didn't, thank God.
Yeah. We got up the next morning and
I tailed it down.
hightailed it to the next road and went into a town and got a place to wait the storm out.
Ah.
And that's that Maine lobster.
Yeah.
Had to get a lobster in Maine.
Now, what kind of meal did y'all want when you got back home?
Meat, really. Just a lot of meat.
Yeah.
Steak, chicken.
Okay.
Pot roast.
Pot roast.
Just real lean meals.
That's a beautiful sight there.
That's in the Presidential Mountain Range in New Hampshire.
So you learned a lot of geography while you were gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What does stop mean?
That's warning you about the bad weather on top of White Mountain
Okay.
National Forest. That's right there by Mount Washington, and that's the worst recorded wind of anywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
It's also just some of the worst weather conditions can happen there.
It can change like that. Yeah. Right there, there's a sign on top of Mount Washington.
There it is right there. 230 miles per hour.
And I think it's kind of average for them to see 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll pick hikers up and blow them.
You can't hardly breathe in that.
And you're up there at 5,000 or 6,000?
Ooh, man, yeah, 5,000, 6,000, somewhere in there.
5,000 or 6,000 foot
Did y'all have
elevation.
a lot of wind that day?
Oh, yeah.
No, it was windy, but not that bad as it could have been.
Yeah. The Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Wildcat mountain range started, right there, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wet. It rained the entire time. It was steep rock climbing like that for some of it. And just, yeah, that was a rough spot of the trail. That's the main state line.
Yep. Made it the last state line.
So what state had the most miles you had to walk?
Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia, in the least amount?
Probably Maryland.
West Virginia or Maryland?
Yeah, West Virginia, Maryland. I think West Virginia had 4 miles, or vice versa, Maryland. That was in Maine, and the Bigelow Mountains. That was
Dukes, Bigelow.
that was the day we reached
2,000.
2,000 miles.
Wow. 193 to go.
And that's the group there we finished with. We hiked with them the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Hold it out there. Who are some of those nicknames there?
All right, so and beside Max on the right, up in the top, that's Avatar. He's from Pennsylvania.
Avatar.
At the bottom right, that's Bug, and then
The girl's a bug.
yeah, girl's Bug at the bottom right. To her left, the next girl, the blonde girl, her name's Duck. To Duck's left would be Little Otter, and then to Little Otter's left would be Rambo, and then
Mousy up there.
the mouse is up top to my right. I'm in the very back left corner. And then the guy to the very far left, his name is Odie. He does the Hiker's Yearbook for Appalachian Trail every year. He's from Huntsville, Alabama.
Well, good. Let me just pause that. I was talking to somebody this week. No, my cousin, Glenda Evans. Her maiden name is Walters. She's from Goshen, Alabama. She and her husband, Jeff, live in Birmingham. She was telling me of a lady that she knows whose son ended up passing away. And they did a documentary, I think it was on the Appalachian Trail or something, where it was videoed, and she just saw it because her son walked that trail, and he died died about a year ago. But on that trail, you could see him walk by. Hey. And so that was a gift that she was able to see her son on a documentary because he walked that trail, and then she got to see him again, even though it was
Him having a good time,
Yeah.
smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the guy. His name was Simba. And that was in Maine. No bridges. You just, no matter the size of the river, you got to cross
You just cross it.
Did any of them have to swim? Was it
No.
above?
There was one. There was one that you would have to swim, but there was this guy, I guess he's retired and just does it or something.
He
but
ferries you over.
he has a canoe, yeah.
Okay. So did y'all get the rope across, or was it already there?
That was there.
That was there, yeah. That's getting close to 100-mile wilderness.
Yeah.
That's Mount Katahdin there in the distance.
That's the day before we finished.
Mount Katahdin.
And just the emotions and how everybody's feeling at that point. It's just because it's coming to an end. You're sitting there looking at the finish line. You really don't want to go up there because you know it's going to be over.
Yeah.
That was finish day right there. And if you ever get a chance to go to Maine, go climb Mount Katahdin.
It's worth
It's like a 5.5 mile hike to get up there, but That's one of the prettiest mountains on the entire Appalachian Trail.
Pronounce that again?
Katahdin.
Katahdin. Who took, so people on the trail took your pictures?
And that was that mountain's in a state park, so you have day hikers out, and they're all, you know, envying you, and they're taking pictures of you. And just,
Is this the finish line?
that's the finish line right
This
there.
is the finish line.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's unbelievable. I'm so tickled that y'all were able to come and y'all were together because, Terry, where are you heading? I mean, Max. He's got a brother named Terry.
Yeah.
Named Terry.
Me
Max,
and-
where are you fixing to go?
Me and my brother Terry, we're going to head to Colorado and try to get on an elk.
Okay, and you'll be gone. You don't know. They'll be gone for a few weeks. He's got to come back home.
A few weeks, yeah. I'm going to go out scouting for a week, and then season's going to come in on the 30th of October, and we're going to hit them hard, try to get one.
What about you, Taylor?
And
What's
then
in
I'm
store
heading
for
to
you?
Arizona to do some theater installs.
Okay. All right. Now you got to Maine. Tell everybody how you got home. Go ahead. Tell us.
Oh, rode the Greyhound.
The Greyhound.
Yeah, we took a great.
What about that experience?
It was wild.
It was something else.
Yeah.
It's not always the most reliable.
Yeah, it's not the most reliable. Like, for instance, we were supposed to go to Birmingham, Alabama. We ended up in Nashville, and because of some maintenance that had to be done on our bus, we were late getting to Nashville to the terminal, so the Birmingham bus had already left when we got there. And it was going to be the next day at 7 o'clock in the afternoon before we could get to Birmingham.
Right.
And so our mothers were waiting to get us that night, and they were like, you know what, we're coming. It's 5 hours from Troy, Alabama. We're heading.
So
We're
they
heading there.
picked you up.
Yeah.
Did they find a water hose and rinse you off? Or?
No, we just stunk.
Well, listen, I know y'all are. I want to give you a minute or two each, or about a little. I want you to finish with something, with a story that your favorite story, and anybody that you'd like to thank other than each other. I know y'all have a lot of appreciation for each other. But Terry, what? Just
A story, just the Appalachian Trail. It's
you got millions, thousands of stories
Yeah.
that you haven't been able to share.
just so many
That-
people. I saw so many people down on their luck that were out there running from it, and I feel like I was able to influence them in a positive way. Everybody out there was just in a good mood, having a good time. No matter what was going on back home, everybody was just ignoring that. You know, like our friend Odie said, your bills, trying to find a job after this, all that, it can't get to you while you're out here on the trail. Just ignore it and have a good time and chase this dream, and you can worry about that later.
What about you, Taylor?
And the camaraderie of it. It was just, like he's saying, the days when you would be down and the days when somebody else would be down, somebody would get your back, somebody would keep you looking your head high.
Keep it going.
Well, listen, I want to certainly thank y'all for coming to the show and sharing your story. It's just a synopsis. And if you want to get in touch with either one of these guys to set up an interview, a newspaper story, a book, or whatever, call Kersey Termite.
Kersey's Pest Control, yeah.
Kersey's Pest Control, and he'll get you in touch with him. But guys, thank y'all so much
Thank
for being
you.
on the show. I
Thank you.
certainly appreciate it.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Max Kersey and Taylor Manning walked the Appalachian Trail, 2,193 miles, 14 states, in how many days?
5 months and 19 days.
5 months and 19 days. Left the 1st of April, came back on the 19th day of September. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with our next guest. He's Mr. Brian McDaniels. He's going to talk to us about the Peanut Butter Festival coming up in Brundage on October the 30th, and he'll share some highlights about the city of Brundage. We'll be back after these messages.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Attention! Attention! PremierTroy.com. We want your trade. We'll buy your car. Whether you purchase a vehicle from us or not, pre-owned car values are at an all-time high. Trade your car for cash or a new vehicle. It's your choice. Premier wants your car. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Good News and Interviews. I'm Forrest Lee, and with us we have Mr. Brian McDaniels. He's the owner of Jackson Hardware in downtown Brundage. And upcoming, we have the Peanut Butter Festival that will be held on Saturday, October the 30th, if you will. Tell us a little bit what's going on.
Well, I'd like to, but I don't know that I can follow the previous group that was here. That was, I might not be quite as exhilarating or as venturous, but I can promise you we're going to do everything we can to have excitement, entertainment, and really get everybody back together after the long lapse, let's say, from the pandemic, and everyone's staying indoors. We feel that finally we're back out there. It took us a little while to make the ultimate decision, out of safety. We certainly want everyone to still do what they feel comfortable with as far as social distancing or masks or anything of that nature. However, we feel the great outdoors is about as good as it gets to get out there and be amongst each other. And the Peanut Butter Parade, which is the startup for the Peanut Butter Festival, has always been something that's been an exciting event in the city, in the area. The communities all around. It's not just a Brundage event. It has to do with Troy and Clio and Abbeville and Enterprise, Dothan. Just doesn't matter where it is. But historically, peanut butter and peanuts, let's say, means a lot to the South. And I think a lot of people lay claim to they were the ones that started the peanut butter scenario. Might be post-war days when peanut butter became very popular. And it may be Dothan, or it may be a city in Georgia, and it may be just our little town in Brundage. But what matters is it is something that's part of our heritage. We celebrate that. We celebrate that in many ways. Again, the parade, which I'll talk about in a minute here, being the startup of it. But the festival always has something new and unique, as well as the history of what got us here with the peanut butter side. We have the demonstrators that do the cane mill, some of the peanut butter process. We have the Johnson Mill that's open for touring to see the old peanut butter equipment and how the process started. We have several different types of events going on to include entertainment, a lot of music. The exhibitors are arts and crafts. And, of course, we've got to have food to go along with it that goes with the festival. So some of that will be peanut butter oriented. I think there'll always be something in there that has to do with peanut butter. But as Forrest said, and by the way, thank you, Forrest, for having me. I should have said that up front. The peanut butter parade will start at promptly 1 o'clock on Saturday, October 30th. We will stage the parade, parade entrance, at about 12:15 to get ready for the parade. This year's parade will include a number of different types of events, let's say, to include bands and music, dancing teams that are literally new to the area, floats of different themes. Nutter Butter for Fun is part of our theme, and then also the actually this is the 200th anniversary of Pike County, so we're trying to make sure we're commemorating, you know, the history of this. Brundage is actually been denoted as an historic site now, so we're proud of the heritage there, but the fact that, you know, we can all be on the same team, so to speak, when it comes to the historic areas in the South, at Troy and some of the other counties, or some of the other cities here have the same distinction. But getting back to the parade, we also welcome any new entrants that may want to join in. We still have time over the next few weeks, a little bit over, I guess, about a week and a half.
What's the phone number, Brian? Or can they go to a website?
They can go to the Brundage Historical Society website, and you'll see Peanut Butter Festival on that as well.
Yes, sir.
Probably the easiest way to contact anyone is myself personally. My cell phone number is listed when you look it up online, as well as in the city billboards. My number is 334-372-3148. Also at my business, Jackson Hardware, 334-735-2773, which would get you all the information you'd need. We have our registration forms. Again, we're still looking for any entrants. We do have prizes for the judges' awards, the judges' choice. We have a way to stage it in different sections. So if there's somebody that has a dance routine or music, we're going to already be doing that. We'll have music all along the parade route. Obviously, I think the theme might have to do with peanut butter.
Okay.
And I won't get into singing any of that right now, but so what we really are looking for is anyone that feels that they want to come out and celebrate. We have farming tractors, we have fun floats. I think we may have the Miss Goober cocktail float, and we're still waiting for the Moonshine Queen to come back. She's been there in past years. Okay. She may show up. So really, truly, if there's anyone that has any questions and wants to attend or be part of it, we still can fill in the booths. I think we probably have 30-40 food booths right now, and several different types of demonstrators, as well as a number of arts and crafts. So we're looking forward to this year's parade and this year's festival to be an event. I firmly believe that, you know, we're just on the edge of a new beginning. You know, it seems like our whole area seems to be behind the progress, the growth, and development of our city, as well as the surrounding areas. There's just a different vibration.
Right, if you will, let's talk about some of the new stuff about Brundage, or the revamp. One, of course, Jackson Hardware. I don't know how long you've been there, but I know it's been there since 1900.
About.
How the downtown Brundage is being revitalized. Of course, you got Pizza Palaces there, got Crow's Chicken, Miss Patsy. But what are some other businesses that are coming? I think you mentioned maybe dance.
Well, before the ones that are coming, we also have to understand and remember that Southern Classic, which is a very big part of our area,
Classic Foods.
it means a lot to the city of Brundage, and a lot of people may not be aware that a lot of the Tabasco, Hershey chocolate, caramel, of course, Wickles are filled and processed here in this area and distributed all over North America, at least, might even be globally. But in any event, our town and our area has a lot to be proud of from the food processing side of it. But with regards to the development of Brundage, again, I mentioned earlier that Brundage has earned an historic site representation from the state of Alabama, and of course anyone could proceed to do that nationally if they want as well, myself included. Jackson Hardware was established back in 1900, as Forrest said. I acquired the business back in 2015 and basically kept the history as much together as I possibly could, but I repurposed and recreated it into more of what today's requirements and needs are. You know, back in the day when the hardware store was it was the department store. It was where a young boy could get his first baseball glove or baseball bat or their first bicycle, and you know, later on, you know, the young ladies could register for their bridal issues, party or bridal, all the gifts,
wedding.
The wedding. There you go. I'm not a young
Plates
girl.
and
There
crystal.
Crystal and everything of that side. And believe it or not, it was also your final destination. The original hardware stores would build, had the mortuaries, and they'd build the caskets. And, you know, I've got some of the old ledgers and all that of all the entries from back in the day. And, you know, Jackson Hardware was as much of all of that. Washers, dryers, just about everything you wanted was coming from a hardware store. So all of that had to cycle, and basically, as we all know, you've got the larger big box type stores, and whether it's appliances or whether it's just discount type items. So we had to kind of move a little bit and kind of retool, and I've emphasized the rebuild of paint. We've got a full paint store there, just as big and just as professional as any that would be out there. Lumber, building materials, roofing materials, PPE. We still have our guns and ammunition. And I always say in my commercial, and oh, by the way, hardware. You know, hardware is always going to be a big part of it. So, you know, the evolution of the town is kind of evolving around what today's needs are. And we've got Monarcas is coming in, the Mexican
Kennedy
restaurant.
is there, lodging and events.
Well, there you go. Yeah, John Kennedy, and that's an awesome facility. If anybody has the opportunity to see that, it'll take you back in time. Have you seen it?
I have. It's unbelievable.
You know, 5 fireplaces, the original fireplaces, all the floors are restored to the original. And if you don't know what it is, it's basically a lodge of sorts that would be accommodating as many as 16, 17 people in an evening, whether it's a large corporate event or whether it's a Christmas time.
Ball game weekend or whatever.
Absolutely. It's phenomenal. He also has catering available to it. Of course, Monarcas is coming in, so that'll be one of the chefs that would do something. We also have some smaller restaurants that have come in. There's a new juice bar, similar to the ones that you've seen in Troy, that are a lot of the energy type drinks. That's literally just about to open up, I think, within the next few days, or next few weeks, let's say. I got to give them a little time. They're still staging it.
There's a cake maker.
There's a new cake maker, and we've got some Jamaican food, and you know, a little bit of mix of everything. There's talks there may be another type of restaurant coming in that is called an imbus, but it's similar to a small sandwich shop type. So
Got a good place to play golf down there too. Brundage Country Club.
right around the
Tuesday
corner.
through Sunday. And of course, Walmart Distribution Center has been big for Brundage. We've got about 2 more minutes, but I want to thank one of my new sponsors, Dan Fraley. They have locations in Troy and in Enterprise, and you've seen that on the screen a couple of times. But again, Mr. Bryan, we have the Peanut Butter Festival.
I'd like to add one more.
Okay.
We also are going to have the Christmas parade this year, and that will be December 7th at 6 o'clock. And there's never enough time to get prepared, so we could be prepared for that. And last but not least, you mentioned one of the new business, the dancing.
Oh, yes.
We have a brand new dance studio in the center of Brundage that looks out right over Main Street. That Patty Rutland Jazz.
Rutland.
It's going to be
phenomenal.
It's going to be phenomenal.
I tell you what, it's just so nice in Brundage, Alabama, and we need a spark in Goshen. That's my hometown. But I want to thank you, Bryan, for coming on the show, and we'll see everyone on the 30th of October in Brundage, Alabama for the Peanut Butter Festival, and it will start that morning. It's going to start at 1.
Well, the actual festival will start earlier in the
Okay.
morning, and they'll have the announcements at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. The festival starts, parade starts at 1.
Right. And we'll see you next week for Good News and Interviews. I have Jeff Moore with the Covenant Christian. He's the school administrator. He'll be here next Monday night. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.